This is the video related to the deployment of our log monitor service to AWS. So what we will have to do is, after we created our EC2 instance, we will have to actually transfer the jar files related to the log monitor service and the log generator to our EC2 instance, and we will also have to upload the launch script that we created to instantiate the log generator. So in this case, we must pay attention to the configuration of our monitoring service, because we must set correctly the number of log generator instances that we want to monitor. So in this case, we want to monitor two services, two log generator services. And then we also have to set correctly the base path of our log files. And then the last thing that we must pay attention to is the time windows, because obviously we will filter, we will consider only the logs that are in the configured and in the specified time windows. In this case, we are using a single time window for both the log generator instances that we are monitoring, and we are setting, as we can see, the start and the end of our time window. So the first thing to do is actually to compile our Scala applications. So we want to compile first the log monitor service and then the log generator service. So to compile our Scala applications, we can run the sbt assembly command from the root folder of our, in this case, monitoring service project and the log generator project. So we can go to the log generator project and run sbt assembly. Then when our jar file has been created, we can go to our terminal, and we can, you can transfer our jar file and the script to the EC2 instance by using the scp command. So we're transferring the log monitor service jar to our EC2 instance. Then we will transfer the log generator jar and the launch script. So now we're ready to use SSH to access our EC2 instance and actually run our program. So we can navigate to our folder, the folder that we want to use in this case. The first thing to run is the script that is instantiated the log generator instances. So in this case, as we configured in the monitoring service application.com file, we want to listen to two log generator instances, so we can type 2. And now the log generators have been started, so we can go to the output folder that will contain our log files. We can see that we have two log files that are being constantly updated, as you can see. Yes, so as you can see, we can do another cut of our file, and we can see that before we simply add the logs until the 29, and then when we run the cat output1.log command again, we have new logs that we didn't have before. So we can now actually run our log monitor service program. So we can see that the logs have been published to Kafka, as you can see here. And we can also see other interesting logs. Obviously, in this case, it is constantly updating the logs. The log generator are constantly updating the logs, so we are constantly listening to changes, and we are publishing logs, updating logs to Kafka. So we can see other interesting logs that we are producing. So, for example, new logs detected in the output2.log file. We are updating the Redis cache, because we're using a Redis cache in order to actually save the last timestamp that we detected in the log file. So the timestamp of the last log that we published to Kafka is saved to Redis in order to avoid sending again the same log file, the same logs that we sent before, if we have to, for example, stop the monitoring service and start it again. So we are saving the timestamp to Redis and retrieving them in subsequent runs of the log monitor service. So this is the end of this video, and then the logs that have been published to Kafka will be handled by the subsequent components in our pipeline.